That's how we find joy in the world. As we'll see how Arkosh are going to find some joy out of this game. Once again, having to wait a little bit for West EU and having to wait more now, as Aaron is going to hit them with a bit of a pause.
Oh, well. So yeah, the way that this lineup comes together now, this is just, apart from like this beautiful gradient that they've got going on in the top left corner right from Arkosh, I also honestly like the way that their draft comes together here a lot.
How
They've
can
got
you
this
carry
carry position,
hope
TA basically
in the
like,
face
sure,
of
she's going to play for the mid lane, but she is going to be the position one. In most of these cases, she's got two pushers over on the side lanes, and in a dual push lineup, the enemy nearly always needs to choose between making their own actions happen or defending. And even if they make their own actions happen, if both of the pushers are not in the same place, you end up losing towers anyway. It is a style that I extensively played with Vega Squadron, and it's a lot of fun to drag your opponent around the map with it, because Arkosh doesn't really have to fight you if they don't want to. They can just hit your towers. When you show up to defend, they just go to the other side, especially if Pale Horse ends up buying BOTs.
It's true. The catch from TOOBASED is not amazing. It's not the worst either, right? You've got a Void Spirit who can jump in. Timbersaw can certainly give chase, as well as a Lich. Any of his abilities that are doubled are going to be very, very nice to do so. Oh, and by the way, of course, for those players not really sure what's going on in the chat, Rudy and Afro are our compatriots. They both hail from Jordan, I believe, at least according to Wikipedia. So they're just sharing a little bit of love for each other as they play versus each other in the US East servers.
It's a global game, man.
It's a global game and you love it. Monkey, you'll be okay. Little buffs that Maiden received on the Nova certainly make her much, much stronger. Especially because this slow duration is 5 seconds now at each level, which is just going to go a long way towards helping her stay alive, mainly in the lane.
Yep. Yeah, if you actually commit to a lot of her spells, you now get to go out again as well between the range and the slow increase, so that is very nice. And oh, there we have another pause.
carry hope in the face of
Sorry, settings. Pale Horse needing to get reacquainted with his Arkosh hotkeys, his Lesh hotkeys. Maybe he made a couple of changes. Coming to lane with an interesting item build, by the way, here for Pale Horse, and I believe this is not the first time I've seen it. Perhaps he thought he was going to be Shrine Laned or something like that. Just a full Magic Wand and 3 GG branches, and Monkey's pulled him, I believe, 1 Tango already. It's kind of a little bit unique.
Well, we'll certainly end up pulling him more because that is now the most efficient way to share region. And yeah, I guess that in this range matchup, he is pretty confident that he's either going to be fully enmeshed in a fight and he'll end up killed or killing, or he's just only going to take slight bits of harass from spellcasting, which means that the stats feel pretty good for him right now.
Speaking of harass, Ritter doing a pretty good job versus Nico, Red 2 in the mid lane. Nico, he's been playing a ton of Pango lately with a pretty impressive win rate. I think like 9 games to 72% in professional games.
Nice.
But he's also a mainstay here on these classic mid lane heroes as the Master Tier Void Spirit is no doubt going to show us, but it's certainly been one of his favorites here, according to his Dota buffs anyway.
And then Rudy over on the TA, I think I've seen him more on Playmakers, and especially because my introduction to him was on that phenomenal Enigma game last season, right? TA definitely feels like a bit of a different flavor to that. Way more farmy, way more follow-up than primary initiating, which what we've usually seen. So curious to see where he's going to take this one.
For now, farm heavy as always here in the mid lane for the Templar Assassin. Just taking a read on what Nico thinks in this lane. He wants to keep on fighting, taking the second point in the Resonant Pulse. Of course, is going to be good, helping you absorb that damage versus the TA. Not the side blades, of course, because that is pure. But the right clicks themselves, at least, are going to be slightly blocked, as Rudy finds himself being, well, you know, he gets a intimate time here with the creep wave, but it is going to be a full refill here for Nico as he snacks both water runes. He'll be back and fully topped up here, ready to fight a bit more, but does find himself at a little bit of a level disadvantage now.
Yeah, so trades that you make always come back to bite you, depending on. Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
Gets him under the tower.
1 tower hit dodged very nicely there by Rudy. More damage onto Nico in exchange. It's a pretty high skill matchup. I do really like watching these two mid laners go at it. Nico, once again, a bit worse for wear, holding on to the bottle charge and a fairy fire is going to pull Rudy back on in.
Let's
Who
go
takes
for
the
it.
tower shot. There's no refraction up for 7 seconds here. Rudy just needs to create a bit of space here. 305 to the 295 move speed, so he is going to be able to outrun the Void Spirit. The refraction back up, he can see us with confidence under the tower, but a bit spicy there for him. His first blood is down bottom, onto the Timbersaw. They will catch him, and that is no points in Split Earth here, actually. Simply just plenty of damage out with the Lightning Storm. 2 points in it now for Pale Horse.
Very, very good kill there for him, especially because you keep that Timbersaw down from your from reaching level 3 himself. And that is usually the turning point, at least for as far as the harass is concerned, right? For Timbersaw, that second point into the reactive armor.
And Gremlo is going to take it down the top lane as he is run down while Crow is off stacking the camps yet again. He's taking the big creeps from the hard camp, so he is doing a good job of at least making sure there's some gold left in this camp for whoever comes to take it. Mid lane, it's going to be TOOBASED to rotate a support over to the mid lane. Rudy, though, is still going to be able to get the water rune. Looks like the rotation was a bit late, but let's see if they can turn it into a gank, because Rudy looking for the TP out and will make it out in time. He goes only, though, to the mid-tier 1 tower, where he's going to be healed by Crow, half duration now, half heal, and the bottle refill looks like it didn't end up happening either. But at least it's not a death for Rudy.
Yeah, and he's actually equal on mana and HP again, so that worked out pretty well for him, all things considered. I think Arkosh is gonna try again though. He's sneaking in from the back.
That he is. And Crowd's just on full stacking duty, so some major stacks happening in the meantime here for Arkosh. That's what they're investing this space in. A tough matchup for Gremlo top as well. Right along Rudy over in the mid lane where he seems to be in a bit of trouble here. They get through the refraction. But he turns back, ready to fight Nico. The auto attacks out from Afro, not going to be nearly enough damage as there's Gremlo dying yet again in this top lane. Leap charge is out from Crow as he's hoping to trade away for Empyrean. And it looks like, with all the healing, they've kited out Crow nicely. There's not enough mana, though, for the Lich, or rather he was cooldown restricted as he pops the stick. But still, Mirana able to make it out of this engagement alive. But that's 2 deaths straight now here for Gremlo, who even has to wait to TP back into lane, pardon me.
Yeah, and normally as a Beastmaster, if you go for the immediate Helm of Dominator build-up, right, you get an armor item out of that, you get the Helm of Iron Will, you do a lot better versus these carries immediately, and your support can leave. But in this lane, between the fact that he's going Axis build, so he's got that Ring of Bassi going, and the fact there's so much magic damage between the Jug Spin and the spells of the... What?
The pause reason was phone call and Gremlo quips with the president. Which is...
Yeah, who knows? Like, Seb met Macron recently. Who's to say
very true.
That Dota2 is not making it to the big leagues elsewhere as well?
That is very, very true. And I have it, you know, on good authority that Gremlo frequently does end up calling members of parliament very frequently. So what he does on those phone calls, I'm not sure, but... There's the G.
Sounds like he's
we'll be getting good phone calls settled.
Politically engaged citizen.
Yes,
that always warms my heart to hear.
Yes, of course.
You gotta stay involved in your governance, people.
Very important. Civil act.
Mail him dead birds.
He's certainly very invested, at least in the axes, as he's looking to axe Aaron a question, but Aaron's going to be able to at least get out of decent range. Continuing the axe stacks, though, up to 6. That'll force back the Jug for a while with Healing Ward still on cooldown for 15. So
Okay,
nice job there.
Richie, listen, I will put up with axe punts if there's an axe in the game, but there isn't, so please.
This whirling axes, there's 2 of them. They're wild, pardon me. How dare I make that mistake. Mid lane, though. And it's going to be a pretty decent dodge as Red 2, unfortunately unable to outrun Rudy, who is buffed by the Haster. But dodging, weaving in beside the trees, he will still fall. As Aframush looks to stun onto Monkey instead, he will find himself likely sliced to dice by Rudy as well, only throwing the Phantom, which will offer very little resistance. Rudy with a kill in the mid lane, as Monkey will secure the second.
And a nice high 5. That's absolutely excellent news for Arkosh.
Yeah, especially because they can leave Pale Horse alone in the bottom lane, and of course Lesh you know, not unlike any other hero in the game, but Lesh especially, my goodness, those axes onto Empyrean nearly ending his life with 8 stacks. But Lesh certainly a hero that does a lot with levels, right? Still no points in the Edict, of course, as this kind of carry role. He is going to be more focused on farming. 3 points in the Lightning Storm, however. So maybe having something to do with the buffs. A total of, how many targets now? 9.
9, yeah. So very good at shoving out the wave here. However, this does mean that unlike normally, where Leshracs are very dangerous to dive because of the Edict, he is, well, it's still doing a lot of damage actually. Jeez.
There is a Timber Chain away. Pale Horse will give chase, but is slowed by the Chakram. Horses don't deal well with axes usually, or whatever. Again, it's just a Chakram, really. That's what these things are called.
Horse is very scared of machinery and loud noises normally. Anyway, this kind of illustrated my point. If he has points in Edict there, Paradise is dead. Like, there's no two ways about it. You cannot dive a Leshrac. You don't do it. So yeah, as long as he just mops up the wave under tower and then goes into the jungle, this Timber can't actually do as much as he normally would. Like, you know, sitting behind the tower, cutting the creep wave. He just makes himself a solo target for this Lesh.
Traps being applied as they skirmish over the power room, which does spawn bottom. Niko's going to go in, though, buffed by the Inkswell. They get to do the refraction charges, the fear, sinister gaze, and they've got the kill here. Nico even avoiding the arrow that was sailing through from Crow. Pale Horse rotating on in with his swift move speed, trying to catch up, only finds the Lich. Kill secured by Monkey. And that is going to be then the mid laner, Rudy, going down in exchange only for the position 5. Pale Horse broken by the creeps. All of his 0 passives. And will begin sieging a bit, but has committed that 4th point into the Lightning Storm. So without any points in Edict, even the single point, this push is really not going to go anywhere at all.
So instead he will have to go somewhere, which is bot lane, galloping right on back, because you have to, you know, the Dutch saying is if the cat's away, the mice dance on the table.
If the cat's away, the mice dance on the table. I like it.
Yeah. And this particular mouse was definitely dancing on a bottom tower.
Fortunately for the table, the Sphere 1 tower, this mouse doesn't he doesn't tap dance on the tower. He's
Rudy,
rather
all on his
easy.
own.
Mid lane, Rudy. Yep, it seems like he's gone in a bit deep. Does not have refraction for 10 more seconds. He is running out of these charges and will be taken down. Down bottom, in the very least, they do at least trade away for an offlaner. Both supports still idling mid for simply 2 base. That now makes 2 deaths for Rudy. So back to back here. Red 2 in a pretty good spot here, considering that he's pretty far behind it in terms of CS. He is very quickly looking to equalize here in terms of net worth. There's still very big stacks to be taken, though, by someone on Arkosh here in the triangle.
Yeah, as soon as they can be bothered, I guess. But Rudy clearly more interested in his opponent's small camp. And Pale Horse still having a good time in the main jungle. So yeah, I guess Crow will just keep on stacking.
Monkey even farming a couple. So careful there, you cannot fight versus the creeps as Maiden. That was a bit spooky, almost having to use the Fairy Fire to get out of that one. Turned back for the neutral item and almost died. Such is life on a Maiden.
Yeah. So the man that we haven't talked about yet, by the way, is Aaron, who has just popped that Omni Slash.
He has on the Gremlo. He's going to give chase. Roar is used. Gremlo thinking about going back in, at least dancing around. We'll throw a couple of axes on over, as it's going to be Nico who gets a kill onto Monkey in the jungle with the DD rune active. Gremlo still chasing, throwing more axes, stacking them up now onto Aaron. Total of 4, but Healing Ward up to level 2 now. We'll be able to top him off. He'll be A-OK. Maelstrom first item here for the Jugger with the Javelin already in the inventory.
Yep, we're looking healthy and pretty farmed. Yeah, he basically walked all the way over. I think he came from mid, actually.
404 build here, by the way. So again, no points in this Inkswell. That's a combo here for the ages. The spin with additional move speed as well as a stun. Not going to find Pale Horse, though he's a bit too speedy. 370 move speed. That was a very hopeful chain for us. Not a single bounce from Empyrean. He laughs to himself. Aaron as well. All he can do is smile through the pain here. Plenty of it. As with Pulse Nova active, that's going to be an easy kill. Afro, quick silence there, shutting up the freezing field as Aaron going back in. They still have to get the kill into Afromoosh, though, thanks to Gremlo. But Pale Horse has been caught behind the tower with Red 2 rotating over. That'll be an easy kill onto Monkey as well. Not before the Frostbite comes out at the very least, as Crow diving underneath the tower. is attempting to evade death in the trees. However, versus the Timbersaw, his cover is quickly torn apart. And, oh, a kill not yet going the way of anyone. Crow, not really anywhere for him to go, however. So will still be cut down by the Chakram, and it's going to be a 3-for-2 trade in favor of Simply TOOBASED.
Yeah, I do believe Arkosh did not need to go that deep, but it was a very tempting dive though, I gotta say. Like with the Jug being all out of spells, you want to try and see if you can secure that kill, secure the tower in one fell swoop. Instead you end up getting neither.
Oh, and Nico just banked, what was this, the 4 bounties? 1, 2, 3, 4. Casual 4 bounties that were just vibing. They you know, they were letting them percolate a little bit there. They increase in strength and taste the longer they sit there. No longer in gold, however. That used to be a thing. They used to gain interest.
A tithe to the impurities.
This reminds me of the legendary Korean casts where the lone druid is just hoarding cheese. They're like, he's fermenting the cheese.
One of my favorite things, even though I've only played approximately 50 games of StarCraft, was when they impersonate the Terran scan sound, which they eventually put into the game. Those guys, they knew what was up.
Nice.
Ooh, a dive into the mid lane. Pale Horse is just a second late there. The splitter at the tower will still end up dropping. Now we have our first point in the Edict here at level 10. As that's Rudy activating the Arcane Rune from behind, though. The smoke wrap around from Aaron. He wants a bigger fish, and they have found one. It's going to be Pale Horse. Omni Slash will tear him to shreds. As there's the double chain frost doing the damage. It made him deleted, but Rudy had refraction up. They get through the charges with the chain frost, but all that damage will not come through. So he simply TPs away. What was otherwise looking like a very scary fight for Arkosh only turned into yet another kill onto Pale Horse.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Like that's not good for him though. He really needs the acceleration right now. Is getting decently close to the Bloodstone, which is when I presume he's going to turn up the heat. But yeah, a little bit of a letdown. I was very hyped for the double chain frost. You don't see that very often. Both ranges kind of mediocre.
Yep. It didn't look too good. I mean, this spell is very good, especially if you can get that second bounce. I think Finger of Death is 400 magic damage at level 1. You get 2 bounces onto a target, that's 500 magic damage, right? So, yeah, it's still a good spell, but Refraction makes everything look a little bit weak, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, the other way around though, the Lich has that frost armor, which in turn makes the overwhelming physical damage of the Templar Assassin look a lot worse. A TA who, by the way, went for the Blink Dagger before the Dragonlance even. Like, you know when I said that I expected Rudy on more of a playmaker and this was very different? Yeah, he's just gonna make plays anyway.
Fair enough. Credit to him. Pale Horse will take down that top tier 1 with level 2 Edict now available to him. I want to take one quick note at the build, actually, because you're completely right about Lich, but one of the reasons we're actually seeing him dabbled with, at least in professional play, is because of these massive buffs to Chain Frost. 30 mana, man, at max level is huge for this hero, especially without sacrifice. He's got mana problems. So being able to spam this, actually, as well as not having to simply buy salves for your core all game, means you actually get to play a little bit of Dota on the hero. As a result, however, Monkey, who does tank a gank here very nicely, as a result, however, he's going to have less points naturally in this Frost Shield, so it's not quite up to 70% physical damage block yet. Gremlo is going to be caught out here. Arrow stacking the stuns onto the Timbersaw, but it won't save Gremlo, who will still fall.
He's got that full Wraith Pact. It feels so bad to be seeing like, oh yeah, there's the Helm coming. He's going into the Overlord, and then nope, is another Wraith Pact. Beastmaster just, I guess it's back to the good old Aura days, but it doesn't.
Auras do feel good. What doesn't feel good is tanking an arrow to the face, but Afro looking to turn. Nice job with the Inkswell and the Phantom's Embrace, though. No spells there for Crow to use. Could have maybe leapt for that bonus attack speed, but not when he's silenced. So good catch there, or able to evade death as the Power Rune spawns top. Crow will fetch it. That'll be a bottle refill denied. No more action of it. Yeah, I mean,
the game slows down a little bit because most of the other towers are taken down on the dire side, and we don't have any initiators with Blink Daggers just yet. Gremlo is working on his. That's when we're going to see.
That's what I was going to say.
Arkosh accelerate again.
It's not quite the Misery build. I think back when he was still playing off lane, not too long ago, about a year ago. Hold on, we're fighting in the mid lane. Soulbind means that Arkosh simply have to leave. Rudy behind as he will fall to the hands of Aaron, who is looking for more. He's got full Maelstrom now, as well as level 2 Omni Slash and Lyasha ready to go, but can't find a target. So it's only going to be a quick D ward. Oh, they didn't actually check for the Observer, but I'm sure they'll be back for that eventually. That might end up actually making a bit of a difference here. For Arkosh, this ward still being up does give you a bit of vision over who's trying to sneak into the Roche pits, and with the tier 1 tower now falling, that does become a possibility here for TOOBASED. They don't have much minus armor, but they've got a lot of damage blocked with the Frost Shield. Still probably a bit too early to make a go for it now, but it's going to be on their radar within the next 5 minutes or so.
It's really only the Jug that can deal damage to the Roche right now, which is... It's going to be a slow going.
Gremlo might end up using the Warrior. He will, just revealing the Hawk, and with the arrow to follow up, it's plenty of magic damage to tear through the Lich. Free kill there. And Arkosh might look for more, as Monkey is going to tank an Omni. Okay, not bad. Position 5 for the Omni Slash, but Arkosh don't have much left in the tank, it seems, with the Roar being on cooldown.
Yeah, and especially if the Leshrac isn't going to be there anymore, they cannot do anything about the Timbersaw currently. He's up to a Hood and a Kaya right now. Sanjin Kaya coming in, so a lot of status resist coming in, extra HP. Which he is going to need, because a Spirit Vessel is pretty much finished over on Crow. But they're going to need that Vessel as well to kill him off.
They're going to try for Roche here?
So right now he certainly doesn't die.
Okay, with no... Oh, pardon me, let me click on Rudy. Rudy does not have Deso, just the Blightstone, the Meld, and I guess plenty of Lockdown. They're going to give it a go. By the way, this new Bloodstone did get pretty majorly buffed. I would say 5% on that bonus lifesteal is really good.
Yes.
So,
absolutely excellent. So Lesh buffed in multiple ways.
Indeed. Does Roche get affected by... Yes, he does, by Wraith's Reprisal. Oh, Nico thought about jumping in, but held in place by the Frostbite into the arrow as well. That's going to be the freezing field by Monkey with the shard. He's able to walk on in and do even more damage with the Chain Frost. Balancing around will delete Arkosh. Pale Horse going to buy back now alongside Crow, as Aaron, who used the Omni earlier, cannot go in any further. And now, in fact, he's going to end up dropping. Paradise trying his best to at least cut through Gremlo. He's got the Chakram on top, but Rudy is in on Empyrean. That'll be a kill onto him. Nico has bought back, thinking about going back on in, but can do nothing to save the life of Paradise. That's going to be another buyback, though, out from the Lich. Without a Chain Frost, though, for 70 seconds, and with Roche on about a 10th of his HP, it seems like this Roche will go the way towards Arkosh.
Yeah, Lesh can just buy back if you just give him the Aegis immediately after, and but Rudy's going in. He doesn't need any
Aegis. Wants to go for more. This is a dieback, so still a pretty major kill. Level 2 Frost Shield, not doing too much there against Rudy. The overwhelming damage that they have. It's going to be one dieback at the very least. With only Pale Horse, the only core needing to buy back. So they'll give him the Aegis as he makes his way towards his second item being the Yules.
Yeah, and this pushes Nico down majorly on the net worth list. He was pretty well on his way towards like the Sanjin Kaya, but now, yeah, he can buy a Kaya, I guess. Oh, it's not a successful buyback for him.
It wasn't, it'll be Nico finding Monkey pretty deep. His life for the Observer Ward, so Maiden not going to be fairly pleased with that one. That was a crazy team fight here. I've got a replay cut of it, but I think Rudy might end up making a jump in. He's got BKB freshly delivered, so we ought to see some smoke action here alongside this first Aegis. But in the meantime, let's look at that last fight yet again. What did you see in this fight? Because I just saw lots of particle effects mostly.
Oh yeah, huge particle effects, but I think one of the most important things that happens here is that the Lich already used up his shield during that first cluster, and then when Aaron moves up towards the high ground, the Lich can't actually protect him from a TA hitting into him from the high ground, and the Jug has not enough stats.
A big catch on the Gremlin. So he's going to turn, actually. Uses the dive bomb. He's going to roar, and now he's going to go ahead and link up quite literally with Rudy. They are soul binded. The Wraith Reprisals giving them cover, however, and no more charges ready to go. Actually, for Nico, he's in trouble. He does actually have Dissemblate as well as one Astral Step remaining. He's got another one ready in a second, but Monkey's pumping in the magic damage, and Rudy with the physical. They will cut through Nico. That is a dieback, a regular kill there onto the Lich as Afro is scattered to the winds, and they've caught Paradise completely isolated, alone, and killed off. Arkosh will turn that around. Crow with 2 kills, I believe Rudy with 2 of his own, but 4 dead is the count here for TOOBASED.
Yeah, that was not a good enough use of the soulbind at all, and it's an expensive lesson to learn at this point in the game when they can have so much pushing power on you. Because the previous couple of fights where they did recently well, they got these bounces off with the Lich Ult, with the soulbind, it looked pretty good for them. And here they learned that actually it's 100% a necessity if they want to win a fight at all.
Good job there by Gremlin, I want to say. Just using his spells, kind of baiting that fight to even start, right? It feels like still a fight you can reasonably take. They don't have thrower anymore. They kind of just use it to hold me in place, but did buy enough time for the rest of Arkosh to group up, close the ranks, and win that team fight. And with that, they'll be awarded with a first set of barracks as they barrage through the mid lane. And we'll look to set up control for basically the rest of the game. Wards in the jungle, outpost taken. Things are, it's going to be an uphill battle now from here on out for TOOBASED. As they will smoke out of the base and look for something, though.
They're moving into at least a roar being up again. And actually, yeah, the CM will be up again as well.
Freezing Field is up. Yeah, basically in fighting shape for Arkosh. BKB check. It's looking pretty good for Rudy as they didn't force it out in the previous fight, so he still has it. Should he need it? Nico running in. That'll trigger at least the first charge, but it's going to be the double chain frost against the BKB target. Not going to do much. It'll nuke through Crow at the very least as Rudy will blink on back. Paradise giving chase to Monkey, who's going to turn with a Freezing Field, cast the Frostbite.
Okay.
That'll be a kill there onto the offlaner. Another jump in here from Red2. He's going to focus down onto Monkey. Gets the kill. Gremlo in trouble as Rudy is turning back to fight. Has no BKB, but the Blink Dagger is in. As now Pale Horse running in. He's going to actually tank that Aether Remnant. Yule Scepter, though, will save him for now. As Gremlo, pardon me, Rudy is going to focus down onto the Ice Spire. That's going to be the new shard for Lich while he holds down. But Pale Horse simply gets jumped. That's only the first life, only the Aegis as Aaron has Omni Slash. Probably not going to use it just for Monkey as the spin will do the trick. Monkey with some clever footwork though in the trees remains alive as they will chase down Aaron. The Frostbite is going to be manted off, but it's still an easy kill for Pale Horse. And it turns into a pretty good fight there for Arkosh.
Yeah, almost looked like Rudy halfway through forgot that his Leshrac had an Aegis on him. It's like he was like, okay, you're in too deep, buddy, I'm bailing. And then wait, you're gonna come back. Oh, snap, let me fix this.
Yeah, a good return. Rudy just resetting, maybe got a little bit spooked by the double chain frost bouncing around, but under the cover of that BKB, he had to worry not. Really only have to worry about much, really, just the Juggernauts, as Nico will be able to get that kill to Red2. Gremlo, just saying Red2.
Yeah.
Just diving after a maiden.
What can you do? You can pop your ult, get more armor,
I'm not
but
sure why he just
with this much
alt-chatted
magic damage on the
Red2.
table.
No one will know, Kips, until we watch the content video. Oh, but in trouble is Paradise. Dive bomb Hawk into the roar. Afro, though, doing a good job of annoying Rudy. But the lockdown is continuous here onto Paradise, who finally gets off his hood and will be able to chain frost away. Sorry, make that timber chain away. Rudy gets the BKB up, turn to fight. As Empyrean used the frost shield here onto his ally. Doesn't have it for himself, but has at least enough HP to make it out alive. Rudy is going to be soul binded up, and they will catch him in the trees.
Nice.
That's going to be a blind Aether Remnant behind the creep wave, though. They knew he didn't have much to go, or much room to play with, so they will actually catch him, cancel the TP, and kill him. Only trading away Empyrean in the meantime. So a big pick-off here for TOOBASED.
Yeah, into all of the vision from Arkosh as well, and basically a dominated jungle like that, that is very good resistance.
The Jug just continues to farm as well throughout the entire event. No new items for him, but he is at least making good progress towards his Eye of Scotty.
Yeah, the other important item that's coming up here is the Lotus Orb over on the Timbersaw versus especially the Crystal Maiden and the Roar, but also just for the armor. I feel like the plate mail aspect of the Lotus Orb sometimes goes underreported. Like,
Unless
you
Purge.
want to get that online versus the TA. Oh yeah, I love Purge. I learned most of what I know about Dota from Purge.
Good guy,
Not
Purge.
ashamed to
Welcome
say
to
it.
Dota, you suck.
Yeah.
Paradise thinking about farming away, but we'll think better of it when he sees a couple of Whirling Axes. Or Wild Axes. These are the wild ones? These are the wild ones.
He doesn't have any cosmetics. It's not very wild.
They don't also seem that wild considering that they return to him. They seem more domesticated than anything, don't they?
Radiant's bottom
Yeah,
tower
exactly.
is
He's
under
got him
attack.
trained.
I mean, he is Beastmaster, but I guess the Hawks are beasts?
Like,
Or sorry, the
Yeah.
Axes as well?
huh.
Axe is certainly
Yeah,
a
like-
beast in his underwear set, that's for sure.
Radiant structures are
Yes,
fortified.
absolutely. Wait. Oh, sorry. You just put that image into my brain, and I could not put it anywhere in context of this game anymore.
Nope,
So you get this point.
just the
Fine.
Axes. Just the Axes. And with a BKB now here for Gremlo, just to make sure he can actually get off that roar. Again, only the Omni Slash really is going to end up bothering him. And potentially a Soulbind here if it latches onto him as the secondary target. As Rudy found in the last fight, could be potentially problematic for him. So BKB is going to be a very good item for him. And then into the Blink Dagger. So he's delaying the Blink. So far, the catch hasn't been an issue for Arkosh. They've been able to, pardon me, rely on simply just the vision of the Hawks, as in this case here, as they smoke up. And we'll look for Afro, who is going to turn with a Soulbind onto 2. Empyrean running up here for the double Chain Frost, but they're not going to get a bounce thanks to the Yule Scepter of Pale Horse. They bounce onto the backlines, which forces away a couple of heroes, and onto the Ice Fire that actually will get the kill onto Pale Horse as Rudy BKB'd up. I think canceled, no, did not cancel a TP there. Is going to be able to at least get a kill onto the Lich, but his BKB now expiring. He's got still a couple of refraction charges up, going for the TP out, and will be able to make it out in time. Aaron without enough physical damage here to get the kill.
Yeah, and beautiful disengager, because Aaron didn't even get to hit people for most of that fight. He catches an arrow, then immediately a dive bomb hawk to the face, then after that gets Crystal Nova as well. So he's seeing both move and attack slow there, so he has to manta that off. And by that point, Rudy's already halfway out.
And a very good Ice Fire. I didn't quite catch it. I was wondering what those chain fronts were bouncing to. That's going to allow the Lich to have some usefulness through the BKBs, through these Yule Scepters, as that's going to be the item that ends up punishing Pale Horse. And, it's going to have a while to think about it, as Crow is going to end up dying as well here to Red 2.
And Arkosh in this weird position now where their vision is still up in the enemy jungle. They'd like to be playing towards that, but they couldn't really hold on to that terrain. Now they're fighting in their own jungle without any vision. Spire going. Also not much of an Omni Slash.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. I saw Omni used in that fight, or on cooldown after the end of it, and didn't really see what the impact of the Omni was. And there we can see we didn't really miss much of it, because it wasn't much of it.
Yeah, Yule's great item this game.
BKB is going to be the item of choice here for Monkey. I'm always curious what Maiden's itemize into, and it's simply just the Tranquils, an additional Wind Lace to help you move that much faster during your Freezing Field Shard, and into the magic immunity. Again, nothing to cancel that physical damage, but if you are at least, under Freezing Field protection, if you got that bonus armor, which is going to severely reduce. I mean, that's more than even just a casual plate mail, and that is actually some serious protection.
It's fantastic, and it gets better as the game goes on usually, just because the major damage sources usually become physical at some point.
Yeah, with the high magic nukes being overshadowed there by eventually the crits to come through. Aaron, of course, has got one built in on the Blade Dance. Smoke play here for 2 bases. It's only Rudy inside the Roche pit. His Blink Dagger still ready to go, as Roche is going to eat that Aether Remnant. 2 base here, mostly breaking their smokes as well. They've set up some vision as well on the hill, and are prepared to fight for this second Roche. What can Arkosh do here to contest? Up 7k here at the 30-minute mark. Rudy holding the hill, but the rest of Arkosh have managed to sneak around. Now they've established control here on the pit, but they've left Rudy completely alone. See the BKB blink down onto the low ground as they look to nuke through the Lich. No double chain frost for now, as he's going to buy back and make haste. But look at Pale Horse. He's going to look to snipe him on the buyback immediately. Pale Horse does catch wind of him. Oh, my camera is going crazy here, as Empyrean is going to try and at least get a kill on the Pale Horse, but it'll be a quick dieback for him. Good magic damage at least, thanks to the Spire, but it will end eventually. Over in the river, we find a stunned Paradise here. He's being locked down into the freezing field, but Gremlo jumped by Aaron, and actually now Crow in trouble as well. Aaron is going to be forced to run. Pale Horse slow to a crawl by a great a great, stroke of fate, which catches 3. Quick little arrow onto Aaron into the splitter. It means that
Nice.
the Soulbind doesn't, or sorry, the Ink Scroll doesn't catch anyone, but it does dispel, and that's a great Omni Slash, which ends up bouncing back towards the Pale Horse. Rudy kited around this entire fight, finally finds the kill onto Afro, but he's going to be in some trouble here. Taunted up, no refraction charges up, and he is going to die as TOOBASED end up managing to come out on top in this fight with another kill onto Crow. Could end up being a team wipe here, Kips, even, as Monkey running for his life has BKB, Aaron giving chase, but I suspect this is a very dead Maiden.
Yeah, surely you don't pop it.
Oh!
Oh, he does? Okay.
I don't know if that saves him. Nope,
No.
doesn't save.
Yeah, whoopsie. And another whoopsie in that fight is Pale Horse E-blades the Mirana while she leaps out, because it's become so much harder to leap out of Omni Slash since the changes quite a long time ago actually. You used to be able to do it very neatly, now it's very hard. But she did actually manage to leap out, and that meant he protected the wrong person because the Omni Slash bounced towards him instead, and he had just used his E-blade on a teammate who got out.
Yeah, very true. I was just going to replay that second Roche is taken, but Gremlo's TP'd back top, and he's actually showed with the boar, and now with the axes, he TP'd in. He's got Blink, though. He's got Blink, and a little bit of protection to cover him. Now with the BKB, Nico quite happy with this outcome, though, especially because it seems like they still get this kill onto Gremlo. Roar committed, but Gremlo does not have any allies to cover. A sneaky Blink play back. Apologies for the camera work. It's a little bit bugged here in Dota TV, and Gremlo is still going to fall without buyback as well. That is going to be quite significant for this upcoming siege TOOBASED are preparing for.
Yeah, I can tell you that I'm right now casting off of your perspective because my camera is stuck in the top left corner of the screen.
Yeah, I had to fight it like that earlier. Here we can take a look at that fight. Great stroke of fate. Ends up tightening them around a little bit more as well in this fight. That's also what I caught off of the buyback from the Grim Stroke. But here's that mistake you're talking about.
We get the leap out. Yeah.
The jump back, the Pale Horse, and nothing can save him
Very
from that.
painful. And nothing can save me from the top left corner. It's all up to your camera work now, Richie.
Gotcha.
So sorry.
Proof faithful and at least reliable before. E-Blade only here to save Pale Horse, which is going to not kill him from the mark damage, but in comes Aaron with the shard, and now silenced up. Pale Horse will pay the price for cutting the mid-wave, as he is killed off. Does have buyback at the very least, and now Gremlo's actually managed to scrounge up the gold for it as well. You know, you get 5 cents back for each bottle of Coke Zero you drink, and he's got plenty. He's got buyback ready to go.
5 cents? Oh.
Yeah, in some states. In Sweden, you got like a whole crown back.
I was about to say, here in Finland, I've been, sometimes I crumple up cans and toss them away. Like, my boyfriend will snatch him out of my hands. It's like, no, it's money.
It's money. You gotta pay the deposit.
Exactly.
CG one of the last outer towers. Still have actually a bottom to go through, but they could look to crack open this game with a lane of barracks, as there's going to be now Monkey being jumped. He's going to be able to turn onto Nico, but they don't have any additional lockdown, so he simply just astral steps away. That's going to be the Omni Slash onto 2. Not nearly enough damage out from Aaron, and now he finds himself very deeply in the base, roared up through the spin. He's going to end up falling quite quickly. Pale Horse, who's bought back, can't do much to help Gremlo, but does have the damage at least for Jug's first life, as Red 2 is caught and killed. Crow with the kill credit there. I believe it must have been an arrow, as the Yule Scepter used now to set up for this kill onto Aaron. The Manta style off, though, means he's going to be able to evade this E-Blade slow as he's stuck spinning and TPing out. He makes it out. Rudy cannot cut quite through the Grim. And all things considered, not too bad of a push from TOOBASED, who will lose the mid laner after forcing out the buyback, and Aegis lost. See what Arkosh can get done now with this small opening they've created.
Yeah, most of the fight made possible by Monkey's forward positioning, where that ultimate cuts off the entire backline of actually reinforcing their Jug. Now, he does have an Aegis, so he does come back, but the problem is that Red 2 jumps across at a point where his backline cannot yet come to back him up just yet. He is all the way in as well. You can see here immediately, everybody's leaving. They cannot go through this Frostfield.
Yeah, that ulti is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the highest damage ultimates in the game, especially now with levels at level 18 here. Freezing Field does 250 per explosion, and there's 320 explosions. So It's pretty good. They actually buffed the radius as well, actually. I forgot about this, which is huge because a radius increase, remember, from your physics, or sorry, from your math and geometry classes is actually quite a big difference here towards the overall AoE. And that means more damage for Maiden.
Well, as long as the amount of shards gets increased too. Otherwise, it's just a bigger area to spread your damage, and it's actually a nerf.
But it's each explosion just does the damage regardless, right? You don't share it if you're inside.
No.
Damage.
You're just less likely to get hit if there's more AoE.
Key. Dodge it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's about the threat of the ult as much as it's about the ult, though, isn't it?
And he's going to be tanking yet another smoke. Has his ultimate, has BKB leashed up. He once again will at least root through Red 2, but Crow and Monkey pulling at the seams here of a rubber band, as they will both end up likely dying. Only one buyback ready, and it's for Monkey, who did use his BKB. 90-second cooldown now on that thing. Which is, you know, of course, equally punishing for everyone, but it feels like more punishing from supports, who basically, without that BKB up, are going to be lunch meat in these fights. At least cores usually have other things they can rely on.
And there's split push going on right now. Pale Horse was on the top lane, shoved one wave there, now meets up with Gremlo on the bottom side. They're going to ring the doorbell, see if they can make TOOBASED come home. Right now, not too interested, though.
Everyone's got TP here, with Red 2's coming off cooldown in a pair of seconds. This is ready to go. Fortify is available for the Dire side. Radiant have no such Fortify, and there's the first couple TPs, at least one. They did end up canceling, it looks like, the Grimm's TP, so he remains for good here on that Radiant side of the map while they continue to siege. Paradise and Aaron making pretty decent work of these bottom barracks. As yet with Frost Shield, that's a 70% damage reduction of the TA, which is huge, of course, as her physical damage now is starting to become pretty hard to ignore. Red 2 hunting now for Gremlo. Thinks he's gone a bit further south. That's not the case. Red 2 has, or sorry, Gremlo's already scouted him, and he's even going to throw some axes quite boldly. But he's going to be able to make it out. Pale Horse back to shoving top lane. Rudy is cutting mid, and there is a DD in the river. No, neither team with vision of it, however. Oh, but Rudy's going to see it. That could be huge. The team is fighting quite nearby. Another kill onto Crow. But for now, that DD into the bottle, save for a rainy day. No need to use that one quite yet. Gremlo is making pretty decent work of this tower. Doesn't have, again, this isn't your super typical Beastmaster. This is kind of Beastmaster, you know, not Noir, but Neo. He's no helm, so the push is...
Neo Beastmaster.
Yeah. Neo Beastmaster, thank you very much. I was like, Noir's the old one. I couldn't remember the new one. It is Neo Beastmaster, which means he's got Wraith Pact, right, with his flags. Not into Helm of the Overlord.
But it's since it's back to like sort of past build, wouldn't you say it's more like a retro futuristic build?
It's like steampunk, you know. I'm sure this Wraith Pact has like a couple of valves on it.
I'm so glad we're not in League, because yeah, we would totally already have some gears on Beastmaster, and it's why? Man lives in the wilds. They would. You just know they would. A top hat
Arkosh
with gears on it.
Put themselves in the dire triangle
curious
right now.
Position.
Yeah. They're continuing to cut these bottom waves, which obviously is problematic, as TOOBASED don't yet have the physical damage to get through backdoor defense with 16 armor. Oh, and here's the DD rune active. This could be huge. Rudy, 2 shots Afro. Monkey even letting it go here. Good silence does catch the Lich, as with the DD rune active, Empyrean is not going to get caught with Sinister Gaze. Probably wouldn't have done much. All comes the ultimate. Pale Horse is falling quickly, gets off the Yule Scepter, as BKB cannot protect Red 2 from the roar of Gremlo. He will fall, and Rudy, with 4 kills here already in the fight, looking to make it 5. Pale Horse is spun down and killed. Aaron able to TP away in time, however. Blink Dagger from Rudy on cooldown, but he picks off 4 in that fight. Another death here onto Pale Horse, as he finds himself constantly getting jumped at the start of these fights. But so far, TOOBASED will hold, and they will make it out alive with their carry, who still has the buyback. There's going to be the Soulbind now onto 2. Monkey being focused down and killed first, but Rudy, he's going to be quick to follow the 4-step, trying to get him out of harm's way, but the quick Timber Chain, quick reactions from TOOBASED, who do buy back additionally onto Paradise to enable that one. You're muted, which means, you know, you can still actually end up... Oh, sorry, that doesn't mute anymore, pardon me. That's Nullifier. It dispels, and TP is not a dispel, it's an item.
Yeah, that was quite the miscalculation from Arkosh, thinking that they can just walk up that high ground when there's so much disable still available. BKBs were out. You can't go there, that's not your base.
Yeah, Monkey just leading them uphill, and the Soulbind catches him and Rudy.
Yeah.
Not much they can do about that. Buyback for Rudy is ready.
Is bloodthirsty.
But there's no buyback actually here for Pale Horse for an entire minute. Arrow's not going to catch anyone there. Crow has Ags, by the way, which is a pretty solid DPS increase. They're going to try and nuke through Aaron. Rudy with the blink on in, trying to do the damage. The refresh as well is going to be not enough damage here. Aaron, he lives, and I want to say off the grace of that Frost Shield from Empyrean, will make it out alive. A buyback here out from Rudy, essentially the carry at this stage from Arkosh Gaming, is not going to pay off in anything other than, I guess, living to fight another day.
No. I was about to say, not losing the game. That's pretty huge there, but yeah, it's wild that they are 5k up right now, and even when they outmaneuver them on that fight on the dire side, don't actually get out on top, and now their base is getting shoved again. That was a big loss, that buyback. There's a huge win condition on the table for 2-base now. Rudy has certainly overextended before.
I think it was.
They can get him. They can end this.
I think it was the Frost Shield there, to be honest. You can see how good this double roar, but the Frost Shield immediately applied. Let's see how low he actually gets on the jug. I didn't end up clicking on him again, but he got low. He was certainly probably within one-shot range there without Frost Shield available.
Yeah, if you get 2 more whacks from the Beastmaster.
This is a big scan. Rudy as well. He's pretty separated from the team right now. 2-base quickly closing the gap. They don't have vision here. All they know is that the scans turned out positive, but Aaron, the first one in, not able to jump here onto Rudy. Crow only gets the 1 leap charge out before he is cut down. The smoke from 2-base not quite catching the prize they wanted, but still not a bad one, especially when Roche is up and ready for the taking. Pale Horse is currently the target. He's got himself a flicker. My camera's tried to... Camera, no. Don't go into the left corner. Pale Horse is going to make it out.
So warm and cozy up there.
It does really want to join you in that top left corner. Pale Horse and Crow. Sorry, Pale Horse and Gremlo, that is. Might be in a spot of trouble here. Gremlo's got Blink and Gem, and is going to blink all the way back. He's got 1 Roar and a second tier to use in a minute.
Oh, Aghanims on Monkey.
By the way, just a quick little note. You can double cast Wraith Pact. The effects do stack. Gremlo forced to BKB and simply just run away. But out for the Soulbind, that's not a bad trade. 2-base, not too unhappy with it either, having forced out a buyback, but here comes Pale Horse with the Scythe of Vice. He's caught 1, but it's a Timber Song, which is quite tanky, and is not going to die that easily. Rudy continuing to cut waves top lane. He might end up being the target now, as 2-based. They will give chase, but it's Arkosh who smoke on their own side of the map here in their own triangle, where they will muster and look to try and finally fight over this third and potentially decisive Roche.
And the refresh is coming back up from Gremlo, so they will have the double roar once again, plus the extra cast on the axes. It's not much, but it does add up those stacks. Dive bomb.
Yep. Gremlo does not have BKB, so he's in on the first life. Had a BKB in 5 more seconds on the refresh, but is going to be cut down. Monkey trying to let it go with the ulti. Not going to do anything against Red 2, who is BKB'd, and that's going to allow Aaron to get the dieback kill here onto Crow. That's both supports now dead without buyback. Gremlo has bought back here, but it seems like Arkosh not interested in making an attempt here for this third Roche. It's going to go the way here of simply 2-base, and they will go for base. Pale Horse is going to show level 27 here, and has actually taken the Lightning Storm, can bounce on twice talent. The opposites of what we usually see, that 30 Edict explosion. He thinks it's good.
Really. Yeah, I guess if you have a lot of, if you just want to deal the most damage and you already have extra bounces, like doubling the extra bounces, yeah, you probably get more damage out of this with the Lightning Storm now. But of course, you do not split push as fast as you used to, and your single target damage is also much diminished.
Yep. It is good damage though. Again, it's I think a finger at max level is like 1,000 damage or something like that. So this is doing just shy, and this is of course with the 100 damage talent at 15 taken. But hey, 600 damage on a very spammable ability is not bad at all. 4-second cooldown on this thing compared to finger, which is 40. So you know, it's got merit.
It's pretty insane. And yeah, now the question for 2-base is, because the problem is in their draft, right? We knew from the beginning that they were not going to be able to push as fast as Arkosh could. So they need to be in a very advantageous position on the map before they can actually threaten base without losing theirs. They will have to keep on coming back, no matter how much gold differential they amass. Really, it is about the positioning of the creep waves here, not of the positioning of TOOBASED themselves.
And now we've finally actually seen as well the gold shift on over to TOOBASED for the first time quite solidly this game. We can see a nice Bob Ross painting here. There's some almighty mountains, a nice little green tree line here as well for some little happy trees, at least for TOOBASED. Dota Plus, though, not giving too much of a lead towards one team or the other. TOOBASED certainly now in a good position now that they can threaten for the Megas as they finally dispatch up that bottom tier 2 tower and proceed up and hit this bottom tier 3 for the first time this game. And well, they only need to get up here once. As we've seen, as Aaron is going to tear right through this thing.
Creep wave position was good enough. Arkosh can't threaten the dire base right now.
Did he try and reflect with Lotus? Did he try and reflect this dive bomb?
I think so.
Would have been funny. Throwing the Hawk back. Didn't work, obviously.
Back where? Into the sky?
I guess.
Back to God?
No, yeah, that's very true. That's already the melee barracks down, and Aaron's going to go and swift blink on in and finish the job. No way they could catch him there with the spin active, up to level 28 now on this Jugger. Pretty soon he's going to get this Blade Dance lifesteal and maybe even that 25 talent here as he is closing into level 30. We'll take a look actually very quickly, very quickly at hero levels. As Rudy as well closing in on level 30 himself.
You want that bash first to jump.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one here. They might catch him.
I'm not sure he's going to get it, especially not if he shows here.
Yeah, and he is going to show. He in fact blinked onto the wave Kips. Paradise giving Chase a quick BKB reaction, and I don't believe Aaron has a basher, so just a couple of friendly auto attacks on the way out. But that's otherwise could have been a pretty spooky moment there for Rudy, who cuts one. I don't even think he finished cutting the wave, actually.
No, didn't leave a trap either. Like, just 0 traps on his top wave right now. The traps are all way further forward, so yeah, they're going to have to meet this wave in base again.
90 seconds now, of course, on this BKB cooldown, increased by 15 in the D patch.
Yeah.
That might be a big enough opening, especially for TOOBASED, with bolstered by this Aegis for another minute for them to try and threaten for the Megas. There is at least a Fortify at the ready. Pale Horse as well, getting ready to go here with the splitter, starting to stack up, but Aaron is not going to die quite that easily, especially with the Frost Shield up. Not enough physical damage could have been dealt. But the Magic's certainly starting to act up as now Nico does go in. He finds the kill here onto Pale Horse, or does he? Yes, he does. That's Omni/Use though, just to secure it. But Pale Horse has the buyback. Gremlo is going to end up roaring himself now onto Paradise, but it's good at least enough for Monkey to secure the kill with the freezing field. They've at least gotten through the first life of the Juggernaut as well, as Nico continuing to stomp people on the back lines. I fight the camera now as we move on over to Aaron, who's barely alive. Rudy doing a good job focusing him down. Crow as well, giving chase, could not cancel the Blink Dagger. The Blind Arrow not quite going to catch him either. Ooh.
That was actually an excellent split fight from Arkosh. 3 heroes dealing with that Timbersaw who went in too deep, doesn't have enough defensive measures to actually protect himself from the root of the freezing field that's come up with the Aghanim Scepter now. And then over on the side, the Aegis gets taken out by Rudy. Crowd arrows Aaron as soon as he comes out.
Rudy doesn't have. He did have BKB, just couldn't get it off in time. The Hex, he's in trouble. Leashed up. Well, now BKB's away, but they've gotten through his refraction charges. More refractions here in a second, and he does get it up. But the Blink Dagger, is it going to be canceled? Yes, it is. He has buyback though. Will be forced to use it. In the meantime, though, Pale Horse cuts through the backline supports. That's diebacks on both of them, if I'm not mistaken. So not bad moves from Arkosh in exchange. As it seems like with the supports dead, that'll cut down TOOBASED's ability to really get much done.
Yeah, that's most of their team fight gone. But Arkosh, like they have to risk the game here. They have to go for this. So this smoke coming in, this is a make it or break it kind of deal. If you don't make this one, you're just going to get pushed in again. You do another set piece fight. They're going to take fate into their own hands.
That's a good rune here. And in fact, they might fight over it. Pale Horse giving pause here. Oh, Nico, though, the Lincoln Sphere is not going to be broken there by Pale Horse. This is new, I think. I'm not sure if they quite scouted it. TA Trap silences, though. Does allow Rudy to close the gap. Nice little It's not Wind Waker, Stormcrafter here. Allows Nico to get out, but they know he's in the vicinity because of the Marana Ag Scepter. It's going to be Pale Horse caught, though. For now, A-OK as they turn and focus onto Paradise. He bought back earlier. Cheese not going to do much thanks to the Vessel. So this is going to widen that window that Arkosh have, especially now with Gremlo reviving. He's going to be able to bots in. But good moves here from Aaron, who does cut this bottom wave, and it's a big bottom wave shoving of super creeps. They might have to send someone back to deal with it. But for now, Arkosh going to be waiting at the footsteps, and now inside of the base of 2base with buyback and ready to go is at least the Grimstroke. Pale Horse is standing apart from the team here with his Shadow Blade, ready to jump anyone he can find. Camera, please. There we go. But Arkosh seemingly going to be able to pick up the Megas. Rudy's in a bit of trouble here. The Force have immediately dispelled, but there's going to be the roar number 1 from Gremlo. He's got another one here in just a second, and they do have it. They secure the kill, but with buyback ready to go is going to be Aaron. A good double Sinister Gaze here. Pulls in Pale Horse as well as Monkey a bit too deep, and now the Omni Slash. Oh, it bounces over to the Maiden. I'm not sure if that's enough to save Pale Horse, as with the magic damage, the E-Blade's not going to save him. Gremlo now needing to run for his life, as at least Monkey has bought back. Still in the base is Rudy, trying to probe from the side. He's going to not be able to TP away. They catch him with the Scythe of Vice, and now Hexed up, Beard as well is killed. It's going to be an advantage back to 2-based.
Oh boy, and yeah, they can just go straight down mid now. I don't think that there's anything to stop them here.
I think that's game, actually.
Maybe you can suicide some of these enemies. The Beastmaster has buyback. I think you suicide the Beastmaster for this wave. It's split.
No one has.
Basically two of them.
No one has buyback, actually. Beastmaster he's shy by 1,500 gold. It's
wait. Did he buy out for something just now? He was on on my list just now.
Did he really buy out for a Dagon one?
Yeah, the Dagon then.
All right.
Oh boy.
Gremlo is bought out for the Dagon. Aaron dispatches of the first of 2 tier 4s. There is at least a Fortify ready to go, as there's a dive bung. Nicely, definitely avoided there with the Manta style. That was a fast one. Back in the base is the Timber. He might be ready to stop anyone who goes for the split push. But right now, 2-base looking for the objectives. Gremlo making the jump in immediately. Hex had the BKB, could not get it off. Silence now. BKB is out. Monkey doing good damage. They got through the Juggernaut, so potentially still a way back in this game for Arkosh Gaming. The camera does not want us to see the poor Maiden dying. But now Throne exposed. Nico avoiding the stun. It puts Paradise in trouble, however, as he is forced back. Throne still here exposed, but Arkosh holding for now, but there's the jump onto Crow with the Scythe of Vice. That'll be a kill onto him. He's got buyback though, and now Gremlo letting it go with the axes, trying his best here to prevent this game from going the way towards 2-base. For now, the desperate hold from Arkosh seems to be holding as Paradise makes it alive by the skin of his teeth. Within the Invis, he makes it out. That last little parting shot not going to do anything to him. And unbelievably, Arkosh maintain their hold in this game. They're not out of it yet. In fact, now they've got the advantage.
Yeah. Upgrade that Dagon, man. Go for it.
Was it actually Dagon that killed Jug?
Don't think so. I don't think it actually did anything for them there.
Gave him 387 damage kips. Wasn't bad.
Yeah. It's okay. Is it as good as, you know, an entire second life, though?
Well, didn't need it there, I suppose.
No, like, it makes him right and me wrong.
Unbelievable, this game. Now Arkosh, advantage to them. Jug without buyback for 5 minutes. Rudy as well, now back alive. 1 set of barracks remaining, 3 versus 4 scenario for 2-based. Arkosh have pushed him back with worse odds. But what if 2-based have left in the tank? They've at least got this Soulbind, the double Scythe device, but Gremlo is going to pre-BKB, make the jump in. 30-second cooldown on the roar as Paradise in a lot of trouble. Does get dispelled there by the Inkswell Shard as Nico stunning the backliners, but unable to get off any kills. Empyrean now left alive as Paradise is going to end up dying. He's dead without buyback now for 100 seconds. They will cut through Gremlo, still without buyback for him, and Nico BKB is going to be able to side shrug that arrow. Edict, though, now the damage to the structure is going to be a bit too high, but they have for the Frost Shield now onto the Ancient. That's going to prevent a lot of this damage, but Nico does not have nearly enough of the damage to get through to Rudy. Pale Horse, though, simply ends the game too fast. He's out of this one. Arkosh Gaming, it's a long one. It's back and forth. It's entertaining.